As humans evolved, our body size has changed drastically. We've shrunk from giants to midgets and back again. But what if humans were to grow as large as dinosaurs? While it may seem like a far-fetched idea, there are shreds of evidence of giants living on Earth before our kind of humans came into existence. And it wasn't just giants that existed during this period. It might seem crazy, but there is evidence that giants once existed on Earth. Giant human skeletons have been found in places like the United States and China. Some of these bones date back to around 10,000 years ago, which means they could have been from humans who were very tall at the time. Some of the bones were found in burial mounds, which means they could have belonged to people who were very important or of high status. But it's also possible that some of these skeletons belong to giants who lived during that period. There are some theories about why giants exist. One idea is that they were the results of humans mating with other species, such as apes or Neanderthals. This could have happened thousands of years ago, but we don't know for sure. And there are plenty of other stories about giants that have been passed down through the generations. Therefore, if they existed today, they would have the genes of both humans coupled with the other species. If they existed today, they would be so tall that their heads would reach the top of 3-story buildings. Although, according to movie producers, they depict them as being one-eyed, with the eye at the center of their foreheads. A cyclops, in other words. If giants did exist, we would be able to witness some surprising and amazing feats from these magnificent creatures. Science fiction described giants as human-like creatures that reach heights of 20 feet or more. Although there is no concrete proof that humans were ever considerably taller than we are now. Even in the past, there have been several notable outliers among Homo sapiens, but they are often brought on by hormone imbalances. Such situations develop when the body continuously generates too much growth hormone. People with severe diseases, like Robert Wadlow, the tallest man ever measured, continue to grow for years. The biblical period is estimated to have lasted for 4,000 years. Concluding with Jesus' passing in the year 30 AD, and given the enormous number of individual animal and human life that have emerged and perished on Earth since the planet became livable. Some animals on Earth today could be considered giants if giants were to exist. If you're still wondering how big a giant would be compared to humans, well, we're talking about a very tall human here. If a modern day elephant were to grow as tall as a giant, it would have to be 10 times its current size. Elephants are already big, so they would need to be even bigger. Giants might be able to run at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, or 64 kilometers per hour. Although humans can walk and run at speeds at around 6 or 7 miles per hour, the fastest human has ever clocked was Usain Bolt, who ran 100 meters in 9.58 seconds, which comes out to right around 23 miles per hour or 37 kilometers per hour. A giant the size of Goliath would weigh about 4,000 pounds and measure 13 feet tall. The giant would have to be about 10 times as big as regular humans. Considering the square cube law, which states that if you double an animal's size in all dimensions, its weight increases 8-fold, but its strength of bones and muscles only increases by a factor of 4. It makes sense that it would be taller and stockier than the average human. They would also likely have leg bones and spinal columns that were thicker, possibly even proportionate to their height than average humans. In addition, given its size, it would require more muscle mass than humans have. They would resemble the Incredible Hulk in a variety of ways. There is an upper body size limit beyond which nothing you'd identify as humanoid can operate, since heavier bones and muscles themselves increase the weight that those bones and muscles need to sustain. This is probably a key factor in the lack of giants. So, why don't we have giants again? The reason we don't see them around is that they would have been too big to use the same tools and weapons that humans do. And the lifestyle they would have needed would have been extremely demanding to maintain. The same goes for dinosaurs. They were too big and they couldn't hunt efficiently or build shelters when times got tough. They had to rely on eating plants or other large creatures, which was probably why they went extinct by the time humans came along. Another reason why giants don't exist today is because of disease. The human body has its limits, and so do the bodies of giants. If they were too big, they would have had a hard time fighting off infections or other illnesses that could be fatal, and there's a chance that they couldn't fight off diseases as well as humans could, so they died out. The final reason why giants don't exist today is most likely due, in fact, of the many disadvantages there are today of being such a size. The demands of being so large would be far too great for today's modern age, and ultimately, it's most likely why we don't see any. We really hope that you enjoyed today's topic. If today is your first time on our channel, definitely check out this video on what's really inside Jupiter's red spot and the mysteries inside.